As the sun sets over the historic streets of New Orleans, Charlotte makes her way through the crowds of tourists and locals alike, her eyes scanning the colorful facades of the buildings around her. She's been giving tours of the city for years, and she knows every inch of the French Quarter like the back of her hand. But tonight feels different somehow. As she rounds a corner, she sees a man standing near the entrance of a small alleyway, his back to her. He's tall and lean, dressed in a dark suit that seems out of place among the tourists in shorts and t-shirts. Charlotte pauses, her curiosity piqued. "Good evening," she says, approaching the man. "Can I help you find something?" The man turns to face her, and Charlotte is struck by his piercing blue eyes and chiseled features. He seems to be studying her, his gaze intense and unrelenting. "I'm looking for a tour of the city," he says in a deep, velvety voice that sends shivers down Charlotte's spine. "Well, you've come to the right place," Charlotte replies, trying to ignore the butterflies in her stomach. "I'm Charlotte, and I give the best tours in the French Quarter." The man smiles, revealing a set of perfect white teeth. "I have no doubt about that. Lead the way." Charlotte starts to walk, gesturing for the man to follow her. As they make their way through the bustling crowds, Charlotte can feel his gaze on her back, as though he's trying to see inside her soul. She can't shake the feeling that there's something different about this man, something otherworldly. Finally, they arrive at their destination, a small courtyard tucked away behind a row of shops and restaurants. Charlotte begins to recount the history of the area, telling stories of famous musicians, voodoo queens, and ghostly apparitions. The man listens intently, his eyes never leaving Charlotte's face. As the tour comes to an end, Charlotte turns to the man, who's been silent for several minutes. "Did you enjoy the tour?" she asks, her heart beating faster than she'd like to admit. The man nods, a faint smile playing on his lips. "I did. In fact, I think I'd like to learn more about this city. Would you be willing to show me around?" Charlotte hesitates, wondering if she should trust this stranger. But something in his eyes tells her that he's not dangerous, that he's just looking for someone to show him the way. "Sure," she says finally, smiling. "I'd be happy to." As Charlotte and the mysterious man, Gabriel, continue their tour of the city, she can't help but feel drawn to him. There's something about his otherworldly aura and piercing gaze that makes her heart skip a beat. But as they walk through the narrow streets of the French Quarter, Charlotte can sense that there's something he's not telling her. Finally, Gabriel breaks the silence. "Charlotte, there's something I need to tell you," he says, his voice low and serious. Charlotte stops in her tracks, her heart pounding in her chest. She can tell that whatever Gabriel is about to reveal will change everything. "I'm not like other men, Charlotte," Gabriel continues. "I'm not human." Charlotte stares at him in disbelief, trying to make sense of what he's saying. "What do you mean? Are you some kind of monster?" Gabriel shakes his head. "Not a monster, Charlotte. A vampire." Charlotte's mind races as she tries to process this information. Vampires are just a myth, a legend. But as she looks into Gabriel's eyes, she can see that he's telling the truth. Gabriel takes a step closer to her, his eyes intense. "I know this is a lot to take in, Charlotte. But I couldn't keep this from you any longer. I feel drawn to you, like I've never felt before. And I hope you can accept me for who I am." Charlotte takes a deep breath, trying to calm her racing heart. She knows that this revelation changes everything, but she can't deny the attraction she feels towards Gabriel. "I don't know what to say," she admits, her voice barely above a whisper. "But I can't deny the way I feel about you, Gabriel. I want to learn more about you, and this world that I never knew existed." Gabriel smiles, a hint of relief in his expression. "I promise to answer all of your questions, Charlotte. But there's something else you need to know. I have an enemy, a powerful vampire hunter who will stop at nothing to destroy me. And anyone close to me is in danger." Charlotte's heart sinks at the news. She knows that she should walk away from Gabriel, to protect herself from harm. But she can't shake the feeling that she belongs with him, that they're meant to be together. As the night wears on, Charlotte and Gabriel continue their tour of the city, but now with a new sense of urgency. Charlotte can feel the danger lurking in the shadows, and she knows that Gabriel's enemy could be anywhere. But as she looks into Gabriel's eyes, she knows that she's willing to risk everything for him. Even if it means putting her own life in danger.